Four news stories from Ethiopia. Firstly, viewers, a few hours ago, some journalists claimed about phone call between Debretsion Gabriel Mikhail and Tigray president and Ethiopian PM Abiy Ahmed. The journalists, one of them is based in Addis. He works for an international news outlet, well-reputed news source he works for. And after that, several news channels shared this claim. But we were waiting for official position of Tigray government, Ethiopian federal government. We were waiting for the confirmation of this news story. Now we have a statement from Getachew Reda, Tigray presidential spokesperson, about alleged phone call between Debretsion and Abiy. Secondly, viewers, Oromo Liberation Army has issued a statement about BG, Benishangul Gumuz region of Ethiopia. We know that several regional forces are operating in BG. Amhara Fano militias have also been seen in BG. OLA's statement is about these Amhara forces and Amhara Fano militia. What is OLA saying? Thirdly, because we know that United Arab Emirates have been involved in Tigray conflict militarily. Last year, it supplied Ethiopian government of PM Abiy with weapons. Reportedly, Chinese drones, wing-long drones, were given to Ethiopia by the UAE. But now we are seeing humanitarian assistance from the UAE to Tigray. A chartered flight, cargo flight, landed in Mekelle a few hours ago from UAE. The flight was carrying aid. 30-ton aid has been supplied by UAE to Tigray. And lastly, viewers, while Amhara diaspora, Ethiopian diaspora of No More movement is almost silent, Tigrayan diaspora are pressing ahead with their daily protests. Almost on daily basis, we are seeing protests in the US. We have some video clips for you from today's protest. Firstly, viewers, a few hours ago, a dim ray of hope was seen when a journalist shared a claim that based on his sources, he had confirmed that a phone call happened between Tigray President Debretsion Gabriel Mikhail and PM Abiy last week. And he said multiple sources had shared the information with him. We were waiting for official position of Tigray regional government and Ethiopian federal government. Now, Getachew Reda, Tigray Central Committee member, has spoken on that. He has denied this news altogether. He has rejected it categorically. He says no contact happened between Debretsion and Abiy Ahmed in the last 18 months. He is naming the journalist as well who shared this news that that he does not know about his sources, the source of the journalist, but he does know that no such call happened. And lastly, he says that such games are common in Addis Ababa. So he seems to be implying that it's a plot, it's a conspiracy, it's a fake news deliberately shared by Ethiopian government. From Addis Ababa, this news has been deliberately planted. Why? It is being said by some Tigrayan activists that Ethiopian government is under pressure from the US. It has tried to launch a movement of diaspora members against this bill due to be tabled at US House of Representatives. Tigrayan diaspora, Ethiopian diaspora is largely split over this issue. So we have not seen any massive rallies against this bill so far. While US senators, they are pressing that the bill should be tabled at the House and it be passed. And if this bill is passed, Ethiopian economy could be in trouble. That is why, in order to divert attention from HR 6600, this fake news has been shared. From Addis Ababa, it has been shared. It is being claimed by some prominent Tigrayan activists. So the dim ray of hope has vanished once again, because Getachew Reda has denied it altogether, rejected it altogether. It means that no such phone conversation happened between Abiy and Debretsion. But let's see what the other side says, Ethiopian federal government. If they have a position about that, the federal government officials will update you about that in coming videos too. Secondly, Oromo Liberation Army has shared a statement about Benishangul Gumuz region of Ethiopia. OLA says that Amhara forces are using Benishangul Gumuz as a launching pad, and attacks are being conducted on Oromos by Amhara Special Forces, Amhara Regional Forces and Fano militia members. OLA says that 2 incidents have happened within the past 1 week in which Oromos were targeted. Firstly, a pregnant lady was reportedly, allegedly killed in Abiy-Debretsion Reda of BG, and secondly, 18 students, Oromo students, were abducted allegedly by Amhara regional forces in BG, in Abiy-Debretsion Reda of BG. OLA says that Amhara forces are using BG for attacks against Oromos in BG and in Oromia. Now, there is presence of Amhara forces in BG. There is presence of OLA as well in BG. We have seen combined operations from Oromo Liberation Army, Gumuz fighters and Gambela Liberation Front fighters in Oromia, BG, Oromia, Gambela border areas. But there is no likelihood of any withdrawal of Amhara forces from BG, because reportedly Benishangul Gumuz regional government is on board with Amhara regional government regarding deployment of Amhara forces to BG. But OLA is protesting. OLA says that these Amhara forces are involved in atrocities against Oromos. Lastly, viewers, we have, thirdly, viewers, we have a new story about supply of aid to Tigray. UAE's government has been involved in supplying weapons to Ethiopian government when fighting was going on in Tigray, in Amhara region of Ethiopia last year. It reportedly supplied drones to Ethiopian government, but now it has changed its intervention or involvement in this conflict. Now it is providing aid to Tigray. UAE charter plane arrived in Mekelle a few hours ago carrying 30 tons of food aid. Medical aid is also being supplied by the UAE to Tigray government. Tigray government is accepting this aid, though UAE has been actively involved militarily against Tigray government in support of Ethiopian federal government of PM Abiy, but Tigray government is accepting this aid. This aid is being used in Tigray, obviously, because Tigray is in dire need of this aid. Tigray cannot afford to deny this aid because it's already under siege. Situation is worsening in Tigray, so they are left with no option but to accept this aid of United Arab Emirates. Lastly, views, Tigrayan diaspora are pressing ahead with the momentum of their protests abroad, especially in the US. They want to put pressure upon the US government to make the US government pass HR 0000 resolution to sanction Ethiopia. On daily basis, we are seeing protests. A few hours ago, we saw protests in Los Angeles, where PCH, Pacific Coastal Highway, was blocked by Tigrayan diaspora members in Los Angeles. Some Tigrayan activists were also part of this protest. Where are Ethiopian diaspora members, no more movement supporters who held large rallies in the US? But this time, no large rallies from Ethiopian diaspora, Amhara diaspora. Tigrayan diaspora is active on daily basis. Watch this clip of Tigrayan diaspora protest in Los Angeles, US. Thank you for watching.